All right, Ricci, come down from Queensland. You're in the office today. Welcome on board. I don't know what member podcasts are up to. I think we'd be close to like 20. Now, first question I have for you, I want you to give a rundown to the audience on who you are, not so much about your betting, just like your age, job, a little bit about yourself, and we'll get into some questions after that.
Okay.
Hi, Ricky, by the way. I'm here as well for those that are listening.
Tom is also here.
I'm 22, from Bundaberg. I work in real estate and do match betting on the side.
Did you, like, growing up, were you a sport lover? Did you play sport? Did you, I don't know, like, what are your hobbies? Like, give us a little bit of story there so we can build a little bit of, like, you're not a father, you don't have 5 kids, like that kind of stuff.
No. Okay. Played soccer, football. Wasn't fantastic at it, let's be honest. Enjoyed coaching though. Coach little kids. That's always fun. But I've had to give that away with real estate and the career that I've got. Bought a home late last year with my girlfriend, which is cool.
Nice.
Is
that in Bundy?
Yeah, in Bundy. Yeah.
Nice.
That's our home. If I was to go again, I wouldn't be buying in Bundaberg.
What's the population of Bundy?
It's predicted to reach 200,000 by
so it's not tiny.
the end of 2030, but it crossed 100 grand a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not huge.
So does everyone in Bundy, everyone knows everyone or
just
not?
about. Yeah, it's small enough that, you pretty much know each other.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, cool. All right, give us your version of events on how your journey so far has happened from, I'll give you a little bit of cues. So thinking about firstly, how you found match betting, how you found us, and then your journey along, like which order you signed up to what in. Give us your story on that.
Okay. Firstly started with HorseCon. Different service, and then somehow stumbled across you boys. So I guess I signed up and I knew some of the methods in Hustler, which was pretty ideal, especially in terms of turning over bonuses. But I signed up in 2023, it's March.
Yep, correct.
I reached out.
That's a good memory.
Yeah.
March 23.
Did you start system or system first?
Just the system, and then I think 2 weeks later I signed up for Hustler.
Yep.
Because I was talking to JP and he was pushing me to do it. So might as well. It's an investment to myself and upskilling. So
yeah, nice. What was your history prior to that around betting? Were you a gambler? Were you someone who, give us a bit of history there?
Never been a massive gambler. Yep. I would cry myself to sleep if I would finish the day like $100 or $50 down. So I've always been a bit of a tight ass when it comes to gambling. I loved deposit matches. That was my thing.
Before match betting?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would scroll through the app store looking for new bookies that I hadn't signed up for, looking for deposit matches, and I would try religiously to just turn a profit. If it was 20, 30, $40, I was stoked.
What were you doing with the bonuses? Like, why did you just look at them as like free opportunities to bet? Like what excited you so much about the deposit matches that you went looking for them?
Interesting, because I don't really remember, but I feel like I did low odds multis and your typical, this thing's a good chance,
But you were just randomly betting the bonuses?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a gamble. There was no method behind it.
Was it because you were given free money? Is that what it was? You had an opportunity to turn it into a bigger amount and it wasn't costing you anything?
It was easier to turn a profit because they'd given me a bit of free money. So there was a lower downside in a way. I wasn't completely gambling with my own money. I think that's where I felt a little bit better.
Yeah, that's a good insight into, that's exactly why the bookies give them out. So the fact that you started kind of your punting journey, even just working out that it's at least an opportunity for another bet, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, they want you to get into the cycle of
bookies would love
actually
that.
doing the act of betting.
Yeah.
And they know that you might win in the short term, and they probably want you to win really, because if you're winning 500 off a bonus, then then you're more likely to then chase a bigger payout
100%.
and then eventually it becomes your own money. It's literally how they do it.
100%.
And we've spoken about how bookies count bonuses at like a loss of 12% for themselves. So it's like an advertising tax for them. But yeah, cool. What made you join both services? Like, why did you go from the old service to us and then to Platinum and then on to sports now?
More depth. I guess HorseCon was very limited. They'd send you the tips, which is all well and good. But then I stumbled across you boys and I could see that it wasn't sustainable. At the time, I thought, you beauty, I'm just getting tips. Like, this is sweet. And then the turning over of the bonuses really excited me because it was guaranteed money, and being a tight ass, that was excellent. But I guess stumbling across you boys, seeing the videos, I think one of the first pieces of content was that horse, the tortoise or the hare, that you filmed.
What resonated with you, like after you watched that?
Just being a tight ass and not liking gambling and investing in a way. I enjoy investing.
Yep.
I think.
More so I think specifically about the tortoise hare video. What, as in, was that video the reason you then looked into more of our stuff, or like,
it's just
like, why did you change? Like, what, you were scared of getting banned or something, or what was the go? Why did you leave the other service to come here? Not that we're trying to compare the other service, but just trying to get inside your head a bit.
I think the more depth, again, intrigued me because I thought it was more sustainable.
How did you know it was more depth though?
The content and signing up for the free course, because I went straight through the free course. As soon as I sent that DM, I want to learn, I jumped straight on the free course. I was like, okay, this actually makes sense. That if you just abuse promos, because I'd been banned before. Like, before I even signed up for anything, I got banned on Bet Deluxe because I turned a good deposit match into good winnings, and then I just got rinsed. I tried to withdraw it because I would never leave money in the bookies.
Yep.
It would be Saturday, and then I'd draw it out, and if it was still early on in the day, I would go again. I would find another bookie, reload, turn that over, rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
As long as I'm in profit. If I'm down 50, actually no, that's a lie. If I down 50 and it was early enough in the day, I'd probably go again. So I would probably not sleep that night if I lose $100. So
yeah,
literally,
so $100 was
not sleep, or like
I'd be
stressing.
Yeah, pretty sad.
Yeah,
So
and at that time,
being a tight ass.
how much money would you have had? Like, you don't have $100 in your name. You got like a solid
Oh, yeah,
savings amount. It's just the principle of losing the money. Is it like you've been beaten or something? Like, what is it?
I've been beaten.
It's like an ego hit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
But then you'd chase to get back to zero if you win again. Is that like what? Why don't you keep going after 100?
Only if there was a deposit match, which is interesting because that's exactly what they want you to do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is. But like, I find it interesting that because there are other people that would watch the exact same content as you and be in this exact same position as you in terms of hate losing or like wanting to be even at the end of the day, but you still did something about it and other people don't. I think that's what JP was trying to, like, why did you do it?
What did I do?
Like, why did you join? Why did you spend money? Why did you invest in something? There are so many other people that sit in the exact same position as you and they don't.
I think I could see that there was plenty of members in there, so I thought it can't be a fib. It can't just be a lie.
Yeah.
And you're putting content out there. So what's there to lose? I mean, I have to say I was doing okay. Like, it's not like I was losing week in, week out. I was doing okay. I think I'd always keep a track on how I was going over the long term, like not religiously, like on a spreadsheet. What I do, tracking every bet, be like, okay, I'd go through my bank statements and see, okay, I profited $68. I was down $50. I'd have an idea on where I was at. So I've gone off in a tangent now.
No, you've answered my question.
That's fine.
The answer to the question was you said that you didn't feel like you had anything to lose.
Yeah,
and that's
right.
Absolutely spot on.
100%.
You saw the content, you saw the depth to the videos, you were already spending time and money and bonuses betting. Wasn't super lucrative for you. You saw this. I'm already doing this. I've got nothing to lose. Let's try this.
And
That's elite. You answered the question perfectly.
It's a small cost to follow a service, and if the tips are there, then your tips and form's probably better than mine anyway. So,
yeah, nice. All right, let's objectify some of these. Like paint the picture a bit more. So you're 22.
Yep.
Your profit so far, what's that?
Closing into 7 now.
Yeah, 7K.
Yep.
Your unit size currently
30
on the system.
on the system.
What about you're also part of the sports system, correct?
50.
50.
Depending on the promotions on the bookies. Like the can I mention the points bet promo last night was sent out as a 50, but I only had capability up to 25. So
Makes sense.
so
Yeah, cool.
varies.
Within reason, and that's obviously, that service is for Platinum Squad members that have been in there for a while, that understand their accounts, that understand how it works. So that's part and parcel of it, which is exactly why you're in there. So that all makes sense.
How have you found specifically the sports system since only doing the horses for like basically the 9 months of your journey so far?
It's been a good start to the season, so yeah, it's pretty awesome.
For those that are listening to this and not watching, he has the largest grin on his face and he's chuckling. So
Why are you laughing?
Can I mention the profit so far?
Yeah,
of course, mate.
it's say whatever you want. Like you're in week 4 of 32, so it's a 32-week service.
Yep.
As you know, and then it's a 20 tip a week weekend job.
Well,
What have you made so far in the first 4 weeks?
it was 1,100 odd. I jumped on the early bird, so I think it was $1,000 to sign up, and it's already paid off.
Nice.
Plus a little bit. I think we're at 1,100.
Yeah, see,
Profit.
nice. That's good. Obviously, it's gonna you're
It's
in
great.
1/8 of the season, so
But there could be some negative variance coming.
yeah.
So
I mean, at the end of 32 weeks, I'd be shocked if it doesn't make like I don't know. Don't want to put numbers on it, but 5.
5+. Yeah. You'd
Last year it was 7 for 29 weeks or 7.5. So that's for a smaller unit, so for a $50 cap. Now, in terms of what was I going to ask? Apart from the profit, what have you paid much attention to the Discord as much with that, or you've been sort of quieter there because
quieter again, with the career. But
have you learnt anything from the sports system apart from profit? Like in terms of anything that has it opened up your mind to like what else can be done? Because if you're just doing system,
absolutely, I guess alongside it, I maybe once every week or second week I'll use Blue Bets promo with the 12 points ahead in the AFL or 6 ahead in the NRL.
Nice.
Tab Touch has won 6+ at the end of any quarter.
Yeah, I saw a few guys speaking about that in the
That's
Discord last week.
crazy.
They've done quite well off that, which is nice.
Wouldn't that have paid last night
I think
with the Lions
Brisbane
and Collingwood?
I didn't watch the whole game, but when they're winning by 5 at halftime,
I honestly
were they winning at quarter time or three-quarter time? I didn't watch.
I didn't watch it, but I heard that they were up ahead at some point. So I'm
Lions were definitely ahead at quarter time, so you would have had an opportunity where
Well,
there would have been like hedging opportunities as well throughout the game.
Yep.
I'd say that it'd be difficult to find a match where that almost doesn't happen.
Yep.
Yeah, they were leading by 5 points at halftime. So you
Brisbane?
stiff,
Just.
But
1 point off.
But Brisbane were also up by like 11 points at one stage after Pies were leading by more than 6 at quarter time. So
early
it works
in the
both
third.
ways. There's opportunities everywhere to make money.
Yeah, correct. That's what I was more hinting at is like since you've joined that, like you've made $1,100 in like 4 weeks just there. That's kind of what you would have been like 5-9 before that. If you say you made 7, that's a fair chunk of your profit in a short period of time. That'll start to grow. Before that, were you kind of like has it changed your whole mindset of how much you can make match betting or not really?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Another stream of income, especially with the career, because the sports service is so easy to follow and takes like 2 minutes. I mean, flew in last night, got off the plane, raced into the Uber, pulled my laptop out and got the bet on with it 30 seconds before kickoff.
Nice.
In terms of
And I
like, sorry for cutting you off. In terms of like it being easier, and you've referenced your career a couple of times. Can you walk us through what a Saturday actually looks like for you?
Moderately stressful.
Yeah.
To be honest, because obviously I can't neglect my career. Like that's got to be the focal point.
Yeah.
So I do
Run
miss
us through what that
tips.
looks like though.
Okay. So get up in the morning,
What time are you getting
park
up?
the car, 7, 7:30, Queensland time. Set everything up, set up the signs, go out, and then usually the promo list will come out just before the first open home So I'll sit there and plan it all out on my notes.
Yep.
I'll put racing today, unit size, Moonee Valley, Randwick, Doomben, for example, and just go through from whatever race, race 1, race 2, 2 units, all the
you just plan the bookies
use.
you're going to use.
Plan the bookies.
Yep.
Go copy into ChatGPT because I'm lazy and just count the number of times this bookie's been used, and then I'll calculate it or I'll count it myself. And then I'll put that below the promos because then I'll mug around the promos throughout the day. So
and again, for those listening that don't know what that means,
non-promo
mugging is non-promo activity. Yes. You're obviously not gambling. You're hedging these bets or laying these bets. Yeah. Just always like to clarify that for people.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few exotics that are gambles essentially, but they're only like $3 or $4.
Yep. Every now and then just to throw off the scent, I guess.
Yep.
And so you're doing, so I like to put this into context. So you're doing open homes for from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m.
That's right.
And you're still finding time to plan your day, to do it sustainably,
Yep.
to place non-promo bets,
Yep.
and to actually follow the services.
Yep.
On top of that, you're now following the sports service in and around that as well.
That's right.
I just like to provide that context because a lot of the time, people are like, it's bloody hard to follow, or, I can't find the time, or it's,
Can be hard.
100% it can be, but
I definitely miss a few tips.
Yeah.
But it all comes out.
But you find a way to get it done.
Absolutely.
And that's why you've made $7,000, and that's why you'll make considerably more.
Because I would hate missing out. That FOMO comes into it. Like if I was to jump off now, I would hate myself because I know that I'm missing out on so much and upskilling and increasing my bank size and everything like that. It would just, I couldn't live with myself.
No, that makes sense.
You said before off camera, whether this ever gets posted, you said you'll never stop following the system.
That's right.
Why?
I think it's just a habit now. Why would I go back to what I was doing, which was a gamble? And I've gone from a $10 unit size, barely any money, to pretty decent. I'm not absolutely killing it, but it's enough of a side income. Last weekend was my first ever $1,000 day. So that's where it was especially after the grind for the start of the year, it was a reward. Absolutely, the positive variance finally came.
Nice.
Does it make you feel better when you make $1,000 on one day, despite the first 3 months of the year being more of a grind? Even though I personally think it's actually more beneficial to go through grind and ranging period.
I think so too.
Do you feel now better, or do you feel relieved? What's the feeling when you make $1,000 in a weekend?
I think it's made me better because I think for the longest time since joining in March 2023, it hasn't been shit. It's been consistently really good. We had that one losing month. That was the first kick up the arse. But consistently, I paid for a trip for Bali, at the end of the day. So I guess for the longest time it's been pretty decent consistently, and I flew from a $10 unit size up to a 40, and then I've dropped back down to 30 because it wasn't sustainable with the career. So I think it was a pat on the back. That $1,200 weekend was a pat on the back for sticking with it more than anything.
100%. That's definitely what it is.
Nice.
I think is it a reward? Yeah, probably. Because the negative variance was coming for quite a while, and it was frustrating to a degree. But I knew it would work out.
It's just proof that if you keep showing up and keep doing the same thing,
Absolutely.
For context, you didn't do anything different last weekend.
Absolutely.
At all. Nothing different.
Nothing different.
You still showed
Nothing
up
extra.
to work. You still planned your day. You still placed the bets the same way. You still sustained your accounts.
Yep.
And some weekends it's $40. Other weekends it's minus $100. And then last weekend was plus $1,200. But you didn't do anything different.
The last weekend I was at the local races in Bundy.
Oh, well, there you
following
go.
it.
Hope your boss knows that.
Yeah, that was after the race. That was after the open.
Well,
it's
if,
just-
if you look at I'll get the results up. We can look at a 3-month period now because we've definitely changed the agenda to people called us scammers and all this through Jan, Feb because they thought that we were changing days and weeks and agendas to now 3 months because of the short-term results. But realistically,
I can see that.
we changed this agenda back in late December internally and then made it public to Jan 8, right?
That's right.
And if you look at it, technically we had a plus 60 December and we changed it directly then because we wanted everyone to literally go, all right, 2024 starting, do this for 12 months.
Yep.
Because we know at the end of 12 months, you're going to be a different human.
Yep.
You're going to be a different mindset, have ridiculous discipline. You're going to be around the community.
Yep.
And I've mentioned 4 things there and none of it's profit. The profit will be the 5th one that comes there as a result of those 4 things that I've mentioned. So if your focus is on tomorrow, next week, day, week, whatever, just short term, you're going to be more inclined to just get emotional about that.
Absolutely.
So my question to you is during that 3-month period, I think we were sitting around sort of 0 profit at the lowest point, maybe whatever, but now it's back to sort of plus 30 in the last 3 months.
Yep.
Did you change anything during that time?
No, not once. Followed
Did
every
you get
day.
tempted to like give up?
No.
Did you get tempted? Did you get angry? Did you get frustrated? Because there was a lot of convos. I don't know how much you read the Discord, but a lot of disgruntled people, frustrated.
See a bit of that, yeah.
Did you feel that?
I don't read an awful lot of the Discord. And to be honest, I only really knew that we were going bad when I saw the last 3 months it was 0.5 profit. I actually,
As
honestly,
in the tipping channel.
Yeah, I actually had no real idea where we were sitting, to be honest.
When you say bad, right?
Switched off. Yep.
Bad is it is the worst 3-month period ever.
Yep.
But the bad is break even at the worst point, right?
Exactly.
A bad for a gambler is probably like losing their entire bankroll.
What could have happened? What could have happened if I wasn't following the service? Chances are I probably wasn't in profit.
Well,
at the end of the day.
the easiest way to think about this is if you speak to a punter, how you going recently? Like just a genuine punter, oh, not too bad. I'm pretty much breaking even. Like that's almost like, all jokes aside, that's like boasting.
Yeah.
Like I'm breaking even. Like, and we're sitting here going, fucking hell, like a worst 3-month period ever. And it's like,
still in
and
profit.
we've broken even. And that's it, that's just the horse system. That's turning your bonuses over at 65%. That's tracking the winners at like, lowest to average odds. Like
65%.
there are so many other variables where like, Platinum Squad members might have been like plus 12, plus 14. And that's the worst period ever.
Yep.
And then you add a week either side of that and it's back to like plus 30 or 40. It's like,
that 3-month period was probably even worse for me because I missed out on I had a Christmas party for work and I didn't have service, so I couldn't follow. I could only follow half the day. It was a ridiculous day. I forget when it was. I think it was November or December.
Yeah, it would have been December.
It would have been like plus 20 odd or something crazy. And I missed out on that and I was spewing. Plus a few Betfair mistakes in there. I made one recently, $300 mistake. But so it was worse.
When you started, did you how you just mentioned that you don't actually know really what the results are, you're just following it and you weren't really aware. When you started, was that the case or were you a lot more, so you were much more like
100%.
in tune into like the daily or race results, but then eventually you just don't care?
Absolutely. I'd copy, I'd probably abuse that Trumpy bot that you have got set up a little bit more.
We're about to change that to not show because it still shows the day. But
clever. Yep.
We're not sure if we will delete that or not. What are your thoughts on it? Like, did you like using it?
It's always nice, but I think everyone's results varies a little bit, especially with mine because I miss a few tips. So I always have to go through it anyway. And because...
Oh, yeah.
That's legit what I tell people. I'm like...
It's almost...
It's a guide.
Yeah, correct. But it's almost like worse if you, like, for example, like if you miss a period and it's a good period, you then feel like you're behind the 8 ball, whereas it's like it shouldn't be about anyone else, like anyone else following and you've missed.
Yep.
It's almost like don't check and or don't care. Because if you are constantly, like it's like if you see someone with fucking 110 kilo 8-pack on Instagram and you want to look like that.
Me.
Yeah, probably not you.
I was going to put it in
but like if you're comparing yourself to that person and that's your level of like success, it has nothing to do with your goals. It has nothing to do with your system. So like don't get attached to that.
I was going to put it in a real estate sense. I guess I wouldn't walk down the street and ask my neighbour, when you buy your house, how much you buy it for? How much equity have you got? How much are you in profit? I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, because
rats. It's not relevant to me.
Correct.
Like you can sit there and say, oh, all these people bought these houses for 50 grand back in, 1960.
I think
cool, bros. You weren't even thought about.
Yeah.
The key is just to focus on yourself and your process on your goals, not to get cool. It's like you might see someone on the podcast has made 100K, but like you're at month 2. That's not you yet. So if you want to get there, ask how, but don't get like disgruntled
I think it's more so like you can look at someone and be like, fuck, JP is like, he bench presses more than me.
Yep.
And that's objectively true.
Yep.
But it's then you don't go, oh, because I don't bench press as much as JP, I'm shit. Like that's where it's like, no, I bench press more than I did 3 months ago.
That's right.
So I'm actually better.
And it's different because we'll be different body weights and different
Correct,
body
man.
types.
Different bankrolls, different opportunities to follow.
That's
different
right.
goals.
Different ability. 100%.
Because, I mean, watching Fudge, he's profited an absolute shitload. And I guess that is capable, but is that sustainable for me in my situation? Probably not with the career that I'm in.
Of course, everyone's very different. Like, Fudge he's 18, man, lives at home. Like he's in his absolute match betting prime and should be taking advantage of it.
Yep.
And you're doing as much as you can properly with you're focusing on other things, but still, you've got a side income that's made you $7 grand.
It's exactly
You've
that's
made
what
a
it is.
third of what he's made, or slightly more than a third. I would say you'll definitely make 18. He's only made 18, like I say only, but like there's people in the community that have made fucking
18-year-olds.
300, right?
Yeah.
But like 18 is like, it's, I don't know, top 30%?
Probably.
Like you can go high. Yours you've just made 1100 last week, so like it's going to keep compounding. And now that you're with sports and you're combining everything, like we can manipulate unit sizes to suit your bankroll and slowly build that up. So I dare say if you stick to this for the next 9 months, what are we, end of March? If you get to the 2025 Jan 1, what would you predict? I would say
20.
Yeah, I was going to say like 20.
Especially with the
I was going to
sports.
say I was going to say you probably make 10 to 15 in the next 9 months.
If nothing changes right now and you just stay on the same unit size, I reckon you'll still make like, I don't know, about 10.
Yeah, that's what I reckon. I think it'd be 10 to 15.
But I reckon you could get to 30K by the end of the year. In terms of total profit, that's 23K.
I think there's a few things that we can tweak with
touch-ups.
you, especially once the bankroll grows a little bit larger. Sorry.
I think you can get better with my mug bets. I definitely, probably tax is the best way of putting it. The mug bets.
Fudge calls them fees.
Fees, tax, commission. Well,
it's all part of it.
It's all part of it.
We'll fine tune that.
In regards to a Saturday specifically, there's been a lot of members, you kind of touched on this, that have like quit or said that they can't fit it into their life and they are in completely, I would say, better positions than you, i.e. they don't even work on a Saturday. You're like doing it at work essentially.
Yeah.
Whether we want that publicly, I'm not sure. But
the
point is, how have you managed to do that? Like, is it just whipping your phone out, bang, like while you're doing stuff?
Yep. I mean, I'm not always on my phone, but I'm answering calls and checking people into open homes. So it's not like having your phone out is frowned upon or anything like that. So just have the bookie open, have my notes open so I know where I'm going to place my bet next, get it on, bang, done. And then in between open homes, I'll cook and place all my mug bets, turnover bonuses, and I just take screenshots so then I can track it on my laptop later.
I think it's important to note that like work is, you obviously plan and prepare for this, but work is still your main priority.
100%.
Like you're not giving any less to your career.
No.
You're just making it work, outside of that. Where it works, it works.
Keyword make.
Yeah.
He's making it happen.
Correct.
He wants to do it. He wants to make it
It's a
work.
habit now.
Yeah, because you want it.
it is.
You've decided that's what you want to do.
Because you could between open homes, you could just sit in your car, scroll TikTok, scroll Insta, read Twitter.
Yep.
You could just watch the races and punt. You could do all of these things, but you choose not to, which I find that's impressive. I rate that highly.
I think that's where I track most of my bets in between open homes, just so I'm kept up to spec because my head goes crazy. If I have to, what's frustrating is getting through the whole day and I have to then track it all because then
As in
takes away.
retrospectively throw it into the spreadsheet.
Yeah, that's right.
I used to stay up to like 5 a.m. on Sunday mornings, not tracking through the day when I was doing it, and I used to do my head in. If I just tracked it as I'm doing it, it literally
It's
you
so
do
much
it,
easier.
it's done. Like
Yeah.
people say they don't have time. It's like if you're watching the race or if you're, it takes like literally 10 seconds to track.
With my mug bets and bonus turnovers, 9 times out of 10 I don't even watch the race because I'm putting on so many bets to get through it and track all the bets. Yeah. So then when I do get home and I'm at home for best case scenario, I'm there for 7, 8, 9, 10 race. I can cook, like I can do my hustler stuff and increase the profits.
Yeah, nice. So you don't use spreadsheet at all, just all notes, or you put it into the spreadsheet eventually. So you go from notes on your phone to then spreadsheet.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So you have everything still.
Everything.
Yeah.
Nice. Odds, my stake size, because I vary it. I'll do 32s, I'll do 28s, I'll do 29s just to change it up.
Yeah.
I track everything: horse name, the odds, the stake, everything.
Has that helped you to like become, I guess, more disciplined and committed to it because you can actually see it? If you didn't track, do you reckon you would have been as like
you'd have no idea,
clued on to what's
you'd
going on?
just be a gambler. You wouldn't be. I think the tracking part is the best way of doing it, especially because then you can track your sustainability. I think is the best thing.
I think it's negligent to not track at least for your first year.
100%.
Yeah, I agree, because we didn't track heavily when we were match betting, like towards our 6th and 7th years, right?
Yep.
And
I don't think I've ever done it not tracking.
I don't think I could.
I was a bit more like, I could still track it, but there'd be periods where I don't. Like that's why I don't have a definitive number on how much I've ever made. It'd be between 250 and 350, right? In the 7 years that I did it. But like that was 7 years. Like it wasn't in 2 years like some people are doing. But like point is, I don't definitively know, and I actually regret not knowing because I would love to have all that data there.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's so like if you get one thing out of this podcast, track your bets,
100%.
even if you're not a member, because
Absolutely.
you know definitively where the fuck your position is, profit loss.
Oh, if you're just like randomly gambling, I think it's even more important that you track your bets. It's a full-on reality like check.
Yeah.
I even did it with my bank statements when I was just gambling. I'd have a rough idea on where I was sitting.
Yeah.
In terms of
Do
profit.
you think that made you bet more or less?
Less?
Yeah, I think it would as
I think
well.
I've
I think it would
always
make
been
all mug
tighter.
punters bet less.
Yep. Absolutely. If I open up and I saw that I was $260 down.
That's what I mean. Like if you know the figure, Like what I've been doing over the last 6 months has cost me $3,000.
I'd stew over
If I
that
keep
for
doing
days.
that, it's going to lose me another $3,000. Like why would a logical human being keep doing that?
Yeah.
Unless they just literally want to give away money.
That's it.
Yeah. I want to change the topic a little bit.
Yep.
Over the course of your time as a member back in March, system, platinum, April, sports system 4 weeks ago.
Yep.
You've sent us 68 minutes of voice messages in
It's like
total.
his voice.
We've sent back 90 minutes of voice. You've had
Not wrong.
2 free calls.
Yep.
Now, if that didn't happen, do you reckon you would be where you are? And more specifically, like early on, your coach was Justin.
Yep.
How did he help you and to like get started? And
Depth, support, community, I think makes up the whole service. Like that, you're not just paying for the tips, you're paying for the community and the community.
yeah, I mean, it sounds cliche. We're trying to like tell you that the coaching is amazing, but like what is discussed in those 68 minutes of voice, 90 minutes back? Like what sort of questions did you ask at the start? You probably don't remember every single one, but like what, just thinking back and reflecting, we haven't even like primed you for this question, so you have no clue, but like what were your main questions? And even now, if you had a question, do you feel like you can just ask it and you get an answer?
I guess it was great progression because I came from being a punter to then going to horse con where it was tips and there was bonus turnover. So there was a next level, and then transitioning into the system then and seeing that you need to pay your taxes to keep it sustainable and do this over the long term and invest. And then having that support around you to see how you do it and not just going balls and all and just doing, if it was 100 for 100 deposit match, how that could potentially rinse you later on. And zooming out, I think, is the support,
Do you listen to all the voice messages in the tipping channel?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, because I know a lot of people don't.
Yep.
Have they helped?
Absolutely.
Why? Like what specifically mindset-wise? You mentioned zooming out. What does that mean?
Looking over the long term, not looking at days. And I think removing the day result has been excellent. I think it's been great. But the Zoom messages are all pretty much the same. Like it's a broken record, but it's what people need to hear. Like I know if I tune, I've still listened to it, as I said, but I know it's going to be more common than not. It's going to be the same thing, but that's what's right. You just need to, you brush your teeth every day. So
the way that it's true. The way that I look at coaching is like, and especially for punters, think about if you're sitting at home on your own punting, you've always got like, the angel and the devil on your shoulder. Like, no, literally like this, the angel's like, you shouldn't be doing this. Like you need this money. This is a waste. And then the devil's like, yeah, but like, bro, we could win like 10 grand.
Then you sprinkle some mates in there.
That's what I mean.
Also punting.
Whereas I think coaching is like, it's like the human angel in terms of like,
absolutely,
if you're a punter and you're getting like stuck or you're confused or you're stressed, like before you do something or you act, people message their coach. And we've seen this like hundreds of times now. Yep. I'm feeling this, or JP, I need to get on a free call, or Tom, can I have a call this week because I'm frustrated, or I can feel my gambling tendencies coming back, or rah. And before they act, they speak to their coach or to a member of the community, or they write it in the Discord. And that I think saves or helps so many people get through those tougher periods, or not even tougher periods, just learning. Like for a lot of people, starting here is tough. It's hard. It takes patience, it takes discipline. You don't make a lot of money. Correct. And a lot of people just give up. And if it happened in any other walk of life, they would just give up because they don't have the support or the community. And that's what I think is so massive about a coach. It's literally like the angel who knows you, who's asked you questions, who understands where you're at, what accounts you got set up, what your bankroll is, what things you've run into previously that were, a pain point for you. And it's like personal help whenever you need it. And that's massive for so many people starting their match betting journey.
Absolutely.
Have there been any mindset changes that you've had, or any life habits that you've taken into other areas of your life, or don't really know any of them?
Good question.
Like specifically, have you changed the way you think about things, or not really?
That's a really good question. Being more disciplined, showing up every day and just doing the same things. I guess eventually you won't get the reward straight up, but eventually if you keep on showing up, you'll win if you just stay disciplined. I guess with career-wise, I'm not going to get the reward right now. I'm definitely not getting the reward for all the people that are watching. Definitely not on millions, baby. Yeah, I'm right at the start. I'm an assistant. I'm an associate. So, but the reward will come eventually if I just stick to it and I increase my knowledge and everything like that. The reward will come. But for now, it's about building the foundation. Looking back now, I've come from a $10 unit size. I'm now up to a 30. I could go higher, but for the long term, I know that I need to stick to 30s for now.
100%. You sent me a voice recording like a month ago.
Can we play that?
Well, I was going to say if you couldn't answer that, I was just going to say, man, we'll just put the voice recording into this podcast because you said it yourself.
Yep.
Like that you were going through a period and you're like, you know what? I would have.
I remember that.
I would have fucking sook about this. Yeah, I can play it.
I'd love to see his reaction to it live because it's all good and well to play it, but it'll be we were listening to it before and it's
it's elite.
One of the all-time great voice messages I've ever heard from a member.
Sweet.
This will answer that question.
We should have cut it up and posted it, but we'll post it now. We'll play it now.
Hey, Tommy.
Hold on. Should I play it at 1.5 or 1?
1's fine.
Okay.
Let's sound high pitch and half.
We'll obviously edit this a little bit. But all right, here it is. Words from the great man himself.
Hey, Tommy. Look, I'm not even sure why I'm sending this to you.
So
you don't need to listen to it, mate. I just needed to vent to someone that's like-minded. So today, I think I lost access to my MetaMask wallet, my crypto wallet. I've done the Face ID. It's a known bug. with MetaMask, they know it. But yeah, when I do my Face ID, it comes up with the tick. I can't get in. $3,500 potentially Gonskis. And fuck, man, I've cried a couple of times today. I really have.
I definitely have.
But now that it's happened, there's a chance that I get it back. There's a chance that it's gone. And you know what? It's not all of my money in crypto. At the end of the day, I've doubled my money. I'm in another wallet. I'm up to $9,000. Original investment was $4,000. We're not even at a Bitcoin high, so I'm going to continue to make profits and take profits as we go.
The best bit's coming.
At the end of the day, after all the tears, I don't give a fuck. This economy is not backed by anything. It's bullshit. I don't care. I've made so many mistakes with Betfair and crypto and other shit. Fuck. Like, I'm going to make so many more mistakes. But I'm going to make those mistakes because I take opportunities, I make opportunities, and I take the risks. If I don't take the risks, I won't make as many mistakes. Elon Musk, Mark Zuck, all the big boys, they all made mistakes because they fucking took opportunities. They didn't lie in bed like a little bitch and actually had to go.
Correct.
So I'm going to continue doing that. Life's just going to keep kicking me down. I'm personally not a religious man, but if there is a God out there, he's just fucking testing me because he knows I can take it. That's just fact. So, grand scheme of things is you boys taught me a lot, and I keep on learning every day. At the end of the day, today's a shit day, and I'm getting fucking emotional about it. I feel like crying right now, to be honest. But
I can hear it in my voice.
It's just a shit day. It's a shit moment. It doesn't really matter. So, fuck me. I shouldn't say this, but if there are any people, anyone in the service that are talking about a day that's like 5 minutes now, grow the fuck up. Zoom out and actually have a look at what's really happening. The system will not lose. It'll continue to go up. It's been tough for a little bit now, but fuck, Jesus Christ. $100, $200 down on the day. Fucking hell. Could be worse, bruss. Could be worse for me. At least I only had $3,500 in there. Could have been 30. Gee whiz. It'll be all right.
Gee whiz.
And I'll continue to make mistakes. But yeah, you don't have to listen to this, brother. But yeah, I just had to vent to someone that was like-minded. Onwards and upwards and on to the next. Peace.
There's your
Nice.
there's your growth. You wouldn't have sent that on day one.
No chance.
I think that answers the question in itself. Being patient, being disciplined, showing up. You're doing it for work. You're doing it for the system. You're doing it for your match betting. That's elite.
I'd hate to know how much I've wasted or lost, but as I said in it, it's because I've taken the opportunity.
Correct.
I could just lie in bed and scroll on TikTok like you referenced before, and I probably wouldn't lose that money, but I'd also be losing the opportunity to make money on the day, I guess. Some people would just look at it and say, I can just stay in bed today and watch a movie or something, but you're losing the opportunity to make the most out of the day.
Yeah. When you have a crack at things, like, you're not always going to get it right and you're going to fuck it up, and sometimes it sucks. But man, like, if you don't do that, then what happens?
You only get once.
Yeah. I'm going to make a video. I reckon we all collaborate a video of as a business and how much we've lost as mistakes, and personal and business mistakes.
Business, cool. We've donated heaps.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Nice $18,000 donation last year.
I mean, what was that?
Failed partnership.
Yeah.
We've donated heaps, man. Everything that we say or do, or like, you know, if we tell people to invest in shit or like go and learn new stuff or like put in the reps, you know, like we've done it.
Yeah, when we send you like the crypto rinsings and being like, don't, like people say like one member of the community at the moment's got like 900K unrealized Bitcoin profits. Like, man, sell some. Like, we're not financial advisors, but like, bro, take something worth out of it. Like, you've got nothing for it. It's because we've been in that situation. We've seen people. It's like, it's an interesting one.
But we've spent the money. We've made the mistakes. Like, we've blown coin.
And we'll keep making. We'll blow heaps more and make more. Like you said, if you're not taking risks, you're not making mistakes.
It's spot on. Everyone's the same. We're all.
You're not improving if you're not taking risks.
That's right. absolutely. But you're not
Win or
improving
learn.
if you're not taking the opportunities at all. And lying in bed every day.
I got a couple of questions for you. Specifically, you spoke about a couple of like Betfair mistakes. Obviously, if you're a platinum member, you'll kind of be able to relate to this. Obviously, when, for example, you might back something, you not get the match, it blows out. You'll get a shitty match. It takes a little bit out of your profit because the match doesn't go well. You said before that makes you quite angry.
Definitely frustrating.
What do you do after it? And then when you did reach out to the Discord, do you want to tell us the story you were telling us before about what people say when that happens, when you've sort of vented?
Yeah. I guess I'll sit in there. If I'm at home, or worse, I'm at an open home. Gee, that's terrible. That's happened a few times. Or just sit there. Yeah, good to see you, mate. Yep. Head on inside. No. I just got to swallow it. But I guess when I reach out for a little bit of comfort in the Discord, sometimes it just gets ignored because people are just having their own conversation. And they probably see it 1,000 times. But to me, it's so significant because I've just done it. Like, it's $300 down the gurgler. Like, come on, boys. They're sorry for me. So I guess when someone just does the typical thing, as I would too, is, come on, it all comes out in the wash. You do feel like headbutting someone. Absolutely.
But then what do you do?
Cop it, because in the grand scheme of things, you're going to make mistakes.
Well, what else can you do?
Well, you can't get it back. It's not like you can go into Betfair and go, hey, boys, I was meant to get the back bet on. Like, no, you can't get back on it. It's done.
Well, you could sook.
You could sook.
Yeah.
And gamble and put a quaddy on.
Yeah.
But good luck with that, champ. Go back to gambling. But I guess what I do now, day one I might have done that. Is fuck it, fuck these blokes. I'm gonna get on the quaddy. I think incentivise is a good chance. I would just, if I've got the time, of course, go home and turn over some deposit matches and use the hustler score to, I guess, what's the word? Supplement the loss.
Yep.
But
that's the best thing you can do. You just keep following, you look for other opportunities and you make up for it.
2 weeks later, I have a $1,200 a week.
Correct. Move on. On to the next.
Yeah. What's your advice for, firstly, your non-members who don't match bet?
Yep.
Who gamble?
Yep.
First question, yeah. What's your advice to those people?
You're a fuckhead. No.
Actually, you mentioned a couple of months ago that you've tried to convince your mates.
Yep.
How's that gone? It's probably a good way to answer it.
It always just comes back to time. It always, people just say they haven't got the time or haven't got the effort. Because I guess when I pull it up, my spreadsheets, like, it is a little bit daunting. You just see rows and rows.
As in like
and
the
rows
volumes
and rows.
of...
Yeah. Like, they see my turnover in Betfair. I think it's in like 20 or 30 grand.
Yeah.
Like, the average Joe would go, but that's what people do anyway. Like, imagine the amount of money that people put through bookies every year.
Genuinely though, that is what they do, but they don't realise that that's what they're doing.
No.
But you're turning 7K profit.
They think it's hard to track it when they don't track it and probably do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly right. So
interesting.
What would my advice be? Make the time, because you're making the time to have a skewy with the boys and sit around and put a multi on them. Why can't you follow a service and follow the tips and put in a little bit of extra time, which you're going to get the reward over the long term?
But maybe even like
zoom out is the advice.
Dumbing that question down further, if it was not advice to join, like to do match betting or to join like a service or anything, what's just the advice around, like, you used to be a gambler.
Yep.
You used to spend the time and energy doing that.
Yep.
Even if you didn't find match betting but you'd stop punting, your life would obviously be different. So like, what would advice be to those people? Like what changes in your life when you don't spend the time, the energy and the money losing on the punt?
Interesting question. I guess you don't learn the habits, the good habits of discipline. That's definitely something that I've learned from this, is everything that's been put out there, like a promotion or a scheme in real estate sense, like there's always a catch to it. So you need to dig deeper into that and actually find out, because there is definitely a way of exploiting the services that people put out, but people just don't educate themselves enough to exploit. Like you could get in this scheme, we'll talk about it off camera, with the government, that they you get in with a 2% deposit, but they take a stake. Like I would not do that under any circumstances. But there's definitely ways to make money out of real estate. There's definitely ways to make money out of crypto. There's definitely ways to make money out of betting, but you've just got to delve deeper and educate yourself to find what that is.
That's a good answer. So to just punters in general, just like to actually think about your actions.
Yep. Absolutely. I think the promotion provider has been set out to dud you, to take money from you.
Correct.
I think the government scheme's been set up to have more control, because what point is it in buying, said it off camera, what is the point of owning a home? For me, I don't think there's any point as an agent buying real estate if there's no monetary gain for it. I would not just buy a house just because of the white picket fence and putting up a LeBron James poster.
Or taking an Instagram photo in front of the sold sign. There's
no interest in that for me.
Nice. I just like to think logically, or think a bit grander than just like the next bet.
Well, you've weighed it up. You've weighed up, okay, the provider is trying to dud me.
Absolutely.
I don't really want to be dudded.
No.
So I either ignore it or try to take advantage of it.
How do I exploit it?
Exactly. In our way, the provider is trying to dud me, but he's giving me an opportunity to take the carrot and then not get sucked in at the same time. I'll take the carrot, but then I won't fall for the trap. Thanks very much.
And now that I see it, it's so in plain sight.
Oh yeah.
Once you delve,
you can't
into
unsee
things,
it. You can't
unsee it now.
Yeah.
Like it's when you get deposit matches now. When I get them, I'm like, you dirty dog, you dirty little mugs. Now you're gonna get fucked.
But it's true though, because when you see it, like, and lots of people say it, like, and everyone tries to convince their mates and their mates never get it. But you then look at what those people are doing and you think that it's actually insane.
Yep.
Like, dude, why would you punt?
Yeah.
And one of my friends went through all of the Platinum Squad content the other week, and he's like, dude, for like 3 years, you've been telling me to do this and you've been saying this and saying that, and I've never understood it. And I just watched the videos and I feel like the biggest imbecile, but I'm never, ever going to punt again.
No. But it's just so cool and casual to just sit in the pub and get on your multi and
it's what everyone else does.
Yeah. Same as Pokies.
Oh.
I went to the casino last night and the amount of money that people are throwing around, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's sad.
Crazy.
Hate seeing it.
Yeah. But it is a bit of fun. In supplement, I mean, there's nothing wrong with occasionally doing something, but over the long term, it's just not sustainable. And as long as you realise that.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm going to read a couple of comments from a recent post about, it was the week before last week, where we said that there was the worst period ever, and we actually copped a lot of
flack.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that were just coming out of the shadows, like non-members that are just like waiting to take our heads off, thinking that like we're whatever.
Yep.
So first one is, there are better ways to make money than waste half your week sustaining accounts and placing someone else's bets all day, every day. Proper waste of time. Imagine spending 20 hours a week for a few bags. Should rename to the Brokies. Like, we don't want to get too deep into the hate, but like, what do you say to that? Like,
uneducated. It doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
I've never spent 20 hours a week sustaining my accounts. It takes 2 minutes, but you've just got to put in the reps to learn it. And then it's just like cruise control. I do it in cruise control now. I'm doing open homes and match betting. It's normal now. It's a habit.
Uneducated is a great response.
That's a great word.
So uneducated.
They're not uneducated individuals.
Misinformed.
No,
they don't understand
in this space and
what the members are doing.
That's correct.
Fully spot on.
Do they follow the service?
No.
I'm assuming not. Yeah,
Another one. 3 months, biggest waste of time. May as well do 1 more hour at your 9 to 5. # side hustle.
Good on you, Russ. Go push your groceries.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just like, because these are the comments because a lot of people just see the profit figure.
Yep.
And this is why we changed the results this week to like show other stuff that's happening in the community. And it's been a great perspective for people who don't have a clue that this is more than a horse tipping brand. Like,
That's right. Yep.
It's yeah. So, okay. Well, probably, I don't know if Tom has any questions. I've got actually one more question. Probably less so for you because you're not a huge member of Discord. But have you personally found any value out of the Discord or not as much because you haven't used it?
Absolutely. I think it's still, not so much for me, but I can see the value for people because imagine you joined January. I guess putting it in real estate senses again, you've arrived to the Bundaberg region and just for clarity, Bundaberg's risen 70% since March 2020. So if you're new to the area, like, I've missed the boat. I need to go somewhere else. But over the long term, it's going to continue to compound. Like Bundaberg's still growing. It's grown 16% in the last 6 months or so still, or 12 months. So I guess going back is if you didn't have that community around you, you'd be like, okay, I've missed the boat. This is broken now. It's not working anymore.
Like,
so
for example, through the start of this year where it was
That's
raining.
right.
Yeah.
So you join Gen 1 or whenever we started going bad, you would think, yeah, I've missed the boat here. These blokes have filled up. It's cooked. I'll just go back to what I'm doing. But because you've got the community around you and the legends of the community that just get around each other, you're probably more likely to just keep turning up, keep brushing teeth, keep going to the gym, just doing it.
You're way more likely because it's people that have done it who have been successful, who have changed their mindset. And it's not me or JP or Steve telling you to stay around.
No,
whose business it is.
Everyone else.
Correct.
Because I guess if it was just you boys, you'd be like, all right, crooks. Like,
yeah, but you honestly
money.
might think that. Or even if you did truly believe it worked, you'd be like, oh, at the end of the day, JP just wants me to stay because I'm paying him.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, there was a comment on the 2nd of March in the Discord from a now member who's gone on to, I reckon he's gone on to join the sports service and he's still there. He wrote, "This shit is broken." And a few people like reacted in a sort of laughing face.
Doesn't
4
that
thumbs
prove
up.
it?
So 4 thumbs up. People were jumping off, sort of a bit angry. But then there was a few messages below it from like you said, the legends of the community who just keep people.
Doesn't that prove it though?
I understand why they're there.
You just said, you put that message in when we were going negatively and then he stuck around. He's in the sports service, no matter what, he's in profit now with that. Doesn't that prove something? Like, if you just keep sticking around, it'll work out.
Well, this is, that's, consistent messaging. Like you said, broken record. Like how you feel doesn't matter as long as you keep doing
That's right.
the same shit.
You just got to keep doing it.
Correct.
You're not going to get big in the gym or something if you only go on the days that you feel like going. I guess there's a supplement to that. You can't just go there 8 times a week and kill yourself.
No, but you're right. But like if you rock up to match, like at the end of a day of match betting or at the end of a gym session, if you feel shit or sad,
you've got to put the emotions aside sometimes.
Or if you feel unbelievable, it's this, the next step is still going to the gym tomorrow or doing your match betting next Saturday. Like that's all it is. Like it isn't complicated.
It'll just be a little bit.
It's just one foot in front of the other over an extended period of time and you get the rewards.
You're not always going to be running. Like in a marathon, do you run the whole time?
Or is there sometimes I probably couldn't run a marathon?
If you're good, you should be.
Yeah, poor
but
example.
You could say like the same speed. Like you might run it, 5-minute Ks for like a period, or you might run it 4-minute Ks at the end. So you're changing the speed.
But the objective is to finish. So if you have to walk some of
forward.
it or run some of it, you keep going, or you just stop and then you don't finish it.
That's it.
So then what?
It's not all going to be skyrocketing. It's there's going to be points where you're going to be a bit slower. It's going to take a little bit longer. You're going to take a step back, which is like your Betfair mistakes or bookie mistakes. You take a couple of steps back, but as long as you keep showing up, it'll work out.
What's your 100%. Advice to current platinum members who don't do sports? Do you find that it's changed? You already said it changed the way you think about match betting, but would you advise that? Would be recommended
to
anyone?
Of income at the end of the day.
Why?
I feel like it does take less time than the horse service.
Yeah.
So I could easily just jump off for a few weeks if I just wanted to give my bookies a bit of a rest in that respect. And I've got that other stream of income now. So yeah, that would be my advice, is to jump on, yes, because you can have a little bit of an easier time with the sports service.
Did you hesitate at the fee?
No.
Why?
Last year, the only reason why I didn't get on is because all my money was tied up buying the house. But it's investing in yourself. I mean, I'd already spent the money on Hustler, and I saw the rule with that. I already spent the money on the system. That worked.
That worked.
So it's more like a trust thing. Like you've seen it
It's
work.
investing
so
in yourself.
You would just basically join whatever we tell you to because you
100%.
believe us and trust us.
Blink of an eye.
To be fair to them, there is still a tiny element of risk
Of course.
because there's an unknown.
Of course.
But like you were saying, like if you don't have a crack at those things or you don't take risk, you're not going to get
never know.
better. Like correct, you will never know.
I'll never know.
Like we know it works, but you don't know it works until you see it, which is kind of what you say.
And I understand that from
of
their
course.
perspective. I used to be
course.
like that massively. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't spend a cent.
Tell me to do anything with regards to betting, or probably a lot of other schemes of life, a lot of trust in you blokes, that I'd just jump on because I know that you guys have done it over the long term. How much money have you made?
Yeah, we've probably both made 300 to 350 each.
So it's like taking gym advice from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like,
Yeah.
Well, we
I'll
could,
take that.
yeah. We're not the best ever, but like we've definitely.
No, we haven't made the
good
most money ever,
experience.
but correct. We have a lot of experiences that we can pass on, and a lot of
That's
the things
right.
we say or do,
are you
we've
more
done.
educated in the space than me? Yes. Should I then take your advice?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're not teaching you about cars. We don't know anything about that.
No idea.
No.
Maybe us Lenny about cars might know a bit, but we don't.
I guess everyone's got their edge, and they've worked hard at a particular niche, and no one's born with you are born to a degree with a talent, but you just need to learn from each other and get around it. That's why the community is good as well, because I believe Budget's bringing out something.
Yeah, it's done. Just got to put it together.
Yep.
It's sick.
So you've got to get around each other and learn from each other, and that's you can't just go through life alone. Learn from each other.
What about final piece of advice to system members who aren't platinum? Do you think they're missing out on anything?
Absolutely.
Like what though?
Absolutely. On
Because you
losing
didn't,
days,
you didn't
again,
really take much thought to get in. You were straight in. Other people, I don't know, just they think it's just,
it's a lot of money.
I don't know.
It's a lot of money, I guess.
Is it though? In the whole scheme of things?
For me, at that point, it was a lot of money.
Yeah,
But now, no, I'll do it in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
So,
Again, that's you seeing it though.
yeah,
It's kind of like the unknown still a risk.
yeah, I guess it's that limiting the downside. Again, like on those losing days, losing months, if you call it that, you can supplement that with guaranteed ways of making profit. Ned's Toolbox, for example, turning over bonuses. Betfair, that's a huge difference. 65 to 80% is a huge difference. 15% over the long term.
It's like 8 or 9 units a month.
Standalone, 15% is not much, but over the long term, it's huge.
Yeah,
100 units last year.
It's huge.
That's
I want a
wild. 100
$13
units.
$3 grand for you if you were following that
Mate.
year.
Has that paid off the hustler squad? Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. Do you have any questions for us?
Just what I wanted to say before is when it was difficult for people, I can see how it can get hard because you missed out on that December. You jump on in January. You're still around your mates. Say you are a gambler. You're getting around your mates. They're starting to give you stick. I can see how it gets difficult, but my advice is always to just stick with it because I know it works.
Mm.
I know it's tough to see that from the outside looking in, but now that I'm on the inside looking out, I can see it. But you always can't think of any questions.
Do you have any questions for him?
No. I'm very happy with that.
Well, we'll say thank you for coming on the podcast. It's been a
Pleasure.
very good chat. I think a lot of people resonate with your story.
100%.
You're not, like you said, you haven't made a ridiculous amount of money, like 7K. Like it's nothing to sneeze at.
Better than what I was doing though.
Exactly, but I think a lot of people will be able to relate.
Just warming up now anyway.
It's a pure side hustle for you, so that's cool to see.